Kirgat that you guys seem to love a lot, and is still one of my most viewed videos on the channel. But so today I thought I would update that care guide. That is the Amazon Milk Frog Care Guide 2022. I did a care guide on Amazon milk frogs, and it seemed to do better than I thought, so let's do it again. Amazon milk frogs are amazing frogs. They're the Transilia referenisics, as their Latin name or scientific name, and they come from the Amazon in South America, where they'll be in the canopies, up in like the tree canopies. These frogs are amazing. I have two, which you guys have seen on the channel. I want to get more eventually, but when they're full-grown adults maybe, and when they're going to start breeding. So they are Ammon, which is back here, and you can kind of see them right there. And then we got Milkton right there. They are getting huge. I haven't weighed them yet. I don't feel like weighing them, so I'll just jump everywhere. But they are amazing. They're my favorite species of tree frog. Well, one of my favorite species of tree frog. And they're awesome. But first, we need to start with a tank. What tank should I use for my Amazon milk frogs? The tank you should use is for Amazon milk frogs is an 18 by 18 by 24 inch enclosure, is what I have right here. If you want, these guys can cohab with day geckos, so you can cohab day geckos with them. If you want me to do that, smash that like button and get this video to like 500 plus views. But just don't run the video on repeat, because I'll cry. And subscribe if you're new. But that's not what I do in the future, but you guys have to do that first. So you need 18 by 18 by 24. I recommend a Exoterra front opening, because it is much easier to do everything in the enclosure with a front opening, such as cleaning, feeding. It's just so much easier. And if you're wondering what this is just the water. Most Exoterras have the chimney effect, which makes it so there's no condensation buildup. I think it's condensation on the glass, but for some reason mine doesn't work. So yeah, if yours doesn't work, I didn't know it didn't work till like not that long ago. But if yours is like this, when you first get it, I would return it and get a new one, to tell you the truth. But yeah, so very easy front open right there. They have a lock. and it's a big enclosure, and you can do your own custom builds for it. You know, maybe a custom build for these guys. I'm not really too sure. But so you have your tank in the back. By the way, you should know this. There are holes back here that need to be closed because in these newer models, that's where the crickets get out, and then you can have crickets in your house, which is never nice. I did this. I've started closing it like that, and I used to have crickets always out of the tank, but now we have no crickets, and it's just awesome. It's way better. So make sure you do that. I'm not even sure why it's there, to tell you the truth. But now you'll need the substrate. What I recommend for substrate and what I recommend doing is making it bioactive. These frogs benefit from it, and it's just more appealing look to the enclosure. Like, you guys, I'll show you B-roll shots right now. It's really nice. It has live plants, and everything looks really good. It's not really growing, but we're thriving, but it's not really growing. It's kind of just staying like this. I'm gonna do an upgrade. Not really an upgrade, but I'm gonna do some changes in their tank. There's an expo coming up, and I'm gonna get some stuff from that expo and make their tank look super nice and change it up a little bit. So you're gonna want to use bioactive substrate. Go check out that video if you want to know how to build a bioactive tank or how I build mine. I use jungle mix, Zilla jungle mix, and I put it in here, and then I put a leaf litter on top and moss, and then actually I didn't put a moss layer, and my tank has been doing really well. Everything is thriving in it. There's isopods and springtails. The isopod, you will need isopods and springtails. Isopods and springtails will eat the molds and poops and aerate the soil, and isopods will eat the poop and the decaying matter. And same with the springtails too. So you have the bottom. Now you're gonna need some decorations. This is the fun part, my favorite part. So just be creative, really. Make sure there's a lot of high places for the frogs to climb on, and a lot of different stuff to climb on. And these frogs are not going to hide like your red-eyed tree frog. These frogs are going to stay out in the open. They don't care. You can invite some friends over, and the friends could watch them, and they'll be just fine. So get live plants, get vines, get whatever. You just take your creativity to the max with these guys. But make sure it is very tall. For babies, like in the last upgrade, I said that they're in a 10-gallon, but that's because they're babies. You can do that when they're babies, and when they're adults, move them to this 18 by 18 by 24. So, just a quick thing, if you want to see my tank get reviewed by ashersamphibiansandreptiles, go check out that video right there. I sent my tank in, and if you want to see their, not really reaction, but how they rate it, go check that video out. You got your tank, now let's move on to feeding. These guys need a varied diet, mainly crickets though. You can occasionally throw in some mealworms and then for an occasional treat, silkworms and waxworms. Silkworms when they're older and waxworms when they're a bit younger. And then also, they will also eat when they're full-grown adults, hornworms. They really like those guys. So do feed them those. I recommend getting coffee cups, coffee mugs, as the proper term is, because then you can put the crickets in there and the crickets won't escape, and you'll, at least when the crickets are smaller, when the crickets get bigger, you can just throw them in there. But at least right now you can see that your frogs are eating, and you can monitor that. If you want to know other methods on how to feed your Amazon milk frogs or just your frogs, go to that video right up there. Well, at least that's what it looks like. I'll put it in the description as well. Hopefully, if I remember. Yeah, you'll want to dust your crickets with a multivitamin and a calcium. And it's also in that video up there. What else? I think that's it for feedings. Let's move on to basic maintenance. Basic maintenance would be basically just taking good care of the tank, like feeding and misting. You should mist with distilled water. I mist with bottled water, but that's where there's all this condensation buildup. Mist with distilled water. It makes your tank look so much nicer, and every like 3 months you don't have to go in and clean everything off the walls. So misting, three times a day. You want a heavy mist. They should have the 70s to 80s humidity. Yeah, 70s to 80s humidity. Actually, no. Yeah, 70s to 80s humidity, and they can go up to the 90s, and they'll be just fine. If you want, you can put a light on top. You can put a UVB if you want. Amazon milk frogs are nocturnal, so they don't. I'm sure they can benefit from UVB, but they don't really need it because they're nocturnal. They're going to be out during the night. So I would, if you want to spend the extra money and put UVB, then if you can, but it is not needed. So yeah, you'll need to change that bulb every 6 months, unless it's, I think Arcadia does. Okay, is it Arcadia? I think it's Arcadia. It does every year, or it's just change it every 6 months. If it's like Exoterra, ask. Do your research too. Just don't watch my thing. Watch multiple videos or read multiple sources. I think that's it for maintenance. So I think that's everything for this video that you'll need to take care of your brand new Amazon milk frogs. If you want to know how to breed Amazon milk frogs, go to my Amazon milk frog breeding video, and don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and if you want me to put day geckos in with these Amazon milk frogs, get this video to 500 views, and I want you guys to break the like button. Like, at least in Asher's Amphibians and Reptiles history, the current most liked is like 93, but that's a shorts. So I think the current most liked video is like 15. So get liked at 20 to 30. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.